Hey guys, I'm going to show you some of the hives that I tried this year, and I'm going to introduce you to a new hive that I think you're going to be intrigued by because it has me intrigued as well. I want to show you some of the ones that I've used this year and let you know kind of what I think about them. Now this hive here is the Anel hive, A-N-E-L. It's worked out really well. It's kind of like pretty similar to this hive, which is the Apiary hive, and they are different. They do have some different pieces and parts to them. But right now, I really do enjoy the Apiary hive, and a lot of beekeepers are trying this one. And I also tried out, of course, the Flow hive. And I'm glad I did. It got me pretty up to speed on how a flow hive works. And I didn't get as much honey out of it as I did all my other Langstroth hives, but I do like how it works in theory. Now, a hive that I really took a liking to is my horizontal hive because boy, is it easier on the back. Let me tell you about another hive that I'm excited about that's easy on your back. One particular hive design was mentioned on my live stream last Thursday night, and one of the viewers mentioned and asked me had I ever seen and what I thought about the new Keeper's hive. I'd never heard of that hive before, but the next day after the live stream, I decided I would just do a little exploration. And then I was pleased because the viewer that asked me that question actually emailed us and said, here's the link to the company that's making the Keeper's hive. And so, of course, I went online and looked at it, and I started looking through their videos and reading about their story, reading about this hive. And you know, that's what I enjoy doing. Whenever I'm asked something that I'm not really studied up on, I just study up on it. And so when somebody asked me a question about that, I thought, okay, I need to find out about what it's all about. And like I said, I'm trying different hives. I want to see which one works better, which one kind of works good. Some of these newer hives that I was just out in the field showing you, I haven't overwintered in any of these. So this is going to be a new exploration to see how I'm going to overwinter them. But back to this Keeper's hive. I really enjoyed studying it. I really enjoyed going to their website and studying and watching their videos about it. I feel like that's my job. I feel like it's my responsibility. My job here on YouTube is to keep up on the current trends, whether it's treatments or new products, new hives, new approaches to beekeeping, and let you guys kind of know what it's all about. So when I went onto their website, I started looking up, and there's two co-founders, co-inventors, along with another manager that's helping this project get off the ground. There's George Dado, I think that's how you say it, Dado, and then there's Nate Wolf. Now they've designed this hive, and I'm going to show you videos, their videos in just a second, and I want you to see what it's all about. I think you're going to be intrigued as much as I am. And they're working on these hives to get them out to beekeepers, I think probably next year. And it's pretty exciting hive. And I gotta be honest with you, when somebody says, hey David, I want you to take a look at this hive, tell us what you think about it. The first thing I'm thinking of, oh no, another hive. I'm gonna look at it, I'm gonna find a bunch of flaws, a bunch of things I don't like. And I kind of go into it pretty critical actually, because I'm just stuck on Langstroth hives. But I'm starting to learn my lesson because I have fallen in love with my horizontal hive, and the hive I'm about to show some video footage on. Wow, this thing is intriguing.
And you can see we're right there into the hive. I like to keep hive notes, so the hive on the observation window is a perfect place to keep your hive notes. We also have a temperature probe, which is reading 94 degrees today, which is perfect brood temperature. There are 8 frames in the brood chamber of the keeper's hive. 4 of the frames sit underneath the observation window, and 4 of the frames sit underneath the queen excluder. So the first step in doing an inspection is we're going to just remove the observation panel. The observation panel allows you to look into the hive to see how populated it is, to see if you have any small hive beetles running around, and also to just show your friends and neighbors your hive, your bees, without disturbing them. The next step is we're going to remove the frame guards. The frame guards are easily removed, and they sit on the outside of the hive on the little ledges. And as you can see, we're into the brood chamber now. We're into where the health of the hive is happening. And we didn't need to stand up. We didn't need to lift anything heavy, or we didn't need to disturb the majority of the bees. The frames, as you can see, are sitting on the hive body instead of in the hive body. That allows you to easily pull the frames out of the hive. If you're removing the frames from the hive, you do not use the J hook, you use the flat side. So we'll just use the flat side and basically lift the frame straight up out of the hive. As you can see, I'm just going to slide the frames over like so. And again, the frames are sliding on top of the box and the frames easily come out of the box. So here is a brood frame. You can slide the next frame out from underneath the queen excluder and again, inspect the frame. So we're just going to continue to access the frames underneath the queen excluder. So here's another nice brood frame. Nice, calm, quiet bees, because again, you're not disturbing the majority of the hive when you're doing an inspection. So a really nice, and there's the queen actually. So I marked my queen, so you can see there's a nice dark pink marked queen in this hive. So we'll put the queen in the quiet box like this, and now we're going to slide out frame number 7 and frame number 8. So the last frame in the hive is typically, you could see a pollen and nectar frame, so it's very nice. And again, so you've inspected all 8 of the frames in the brood chamber without standing or lifting or removing any of the supers. It's important to put the frames back in the same way as they were when they came out. So we're just going to put back together this hive, as simple as that. Just putting the frames back into the brood chamber, just like so. And we've assessed that this hive has some honey in it. This hive has a fair number of bees in it for being a relatively newer hive. This frame, the brood looks healthy, and there is no disease. And they have plenty of honey in there. So we only, in this hive, since it's a newer hive, we only have 7 frames in the brood chamber. So we are using the follower board to limit the size of this hive right now. So all 7 frames are back in. We'll grab our frame guards, put them back on. You could do a little smoke if you like, just to sort of drive the bees off the edge of the frames. We'll put the frame guards back in over the tangs of the frames. We'll get our observation window, put it right back on the hive, put back our note card, and close the hinge roof. It's that easy.
I mean, from the videos and from the surface, just looking at it from their website, this hive looks pretty doggone good. Now, let me just say, this is not a paid promotion. I'm not being paid to say this. I've had some conversations through email with them and basically just asking permission if I could use their videos in my video to talk about their new design. And I'm going to have them on our live stream coming up, not this Thursday, but a week from Thursday. And that way, all of you can ask all the questions that you want to about how these hives might work. Now, 2 phrases that they use a lot, and these phrases really resonate with me. A seeded hive inspection. George actually shows us how he uses this hive, and he's seeded during the entire inspection. Now, I like that because as I get older, I'm tired of lifting box after box after box, heavy honey supers and all that, right? The other phrase that I hear them say a lot is, it's the Langstroth hive without the lift. So I know a lot of you, that resonates with you too. You're kind of getting tired of lifting deep, heavy boxes. Although, like I said, I started doing a lot of cycling recently, all year long. And I'll tell you what, cycling has really strengthened my core and my back. And that's translated into me being able to pick up heavier boxes without feeling like, oh, my back is sore. Now, again, I don't have one of these hives. I'm only going by their video and what I'm watching them do in their inspection. But I gotta tell you, the concept, I think, is really brilliant. I love it. The idea of opening that little panel and then sliding frames around and inspecting only the single deep from a seating position, and then having those supers on the other side above a queen excluder. I think that's really brilliant because it allows us to do things like swarm control, swarm management better. And it also allows us to keep our honey supers over there. I think they claim it's made more honey than maybe a Langstroth hive because you're just stacking those, what are they, five or eight frame boxes on the other side over there. And the bees are just stacking that full of honey. You don't have to take off 10 frames of honey. You're only taking off like 5 or 8, whatever that amount is over on that one side. Now, I can't wait to get one and try it myself. Until you try one, you really don't know the little nuances that may show up. Like until you run one, it's hard to give a good review. But in concept, I really am excited to try this. I see no reason why this won't really work out very well, actually. But again, I want to try it because you always want to be ready when you take it through the paces to see how it does perform. This is an intriguing hive. It's hot off the presses. I don't think it's available yet for purchase, but I want you guys to be aware of it, get some information on it, and wanted you to hear it. Now, whether you use a top bar hive, a Langstroth hive, an Apiary, or one of these new Keepeer's hives, or horizontal hive, whatever your hive preference is, I'll tell you one thing that is going to really be a problem as time goes on, especially I think next year in 2024, small hive beetle. It's really making its rounds all through the US in particular. So I've just made a video. I went into great detail, which I usually don't do. I went into great detail to help you guys out with small hive beetle. Here's the video. Check it out. See you guys over there.